Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming down to this emergency town hall meeting. And, of course, thanks to the mayor for allowing me to address you on the situation. My name is Keith Vanzetti. I am co-owner of the Vanzetti Family Traveling Circus and Swap Meet. I'm sure you saw our trucks pull into town the other day. I want to say that we all just love it here in your little town, and we were so pleased to see so many of you come out to enjoy the circus on Saturday, especially after that unfortunate incident Friday night. Now, about that, I just want you to know that bear has never, and I mean almost never, ever attacked anyone that small before. I don't know if it was something this little boy Tyler was wearing, some sort of noise he might have made, the shininess of his wheelchair. We're just not sure. You know, sometimes the slightest little motion and Chewy goes completely insane. I mean, he'll take you down and tear out your throat, which is why we took him out of the petting zoo almost right away. Anyway, this kid, Tyler, is still in the hospital, of course, but his condition was just upgraded from extremely critical to very critical. So we've got our fingers crossed, and we're hoping that he'll be out of the woods and only critical by tomorrow morning. Naturally, a lot of people, especially Tyler's parents, want to know if this animal has had its shots. And there's a funny story about that. We weren't really sure, so we called a veterinarian to examine Chewy, and it ends up that he's not really a bear so much. He's more like he's a wolverine. The thing is, the man who sold me this alleged bear, well, it wasn't really a cash transaction, strictly speaking. The truth is, I won Chewy in a poker game with the groundskeeper at the Knoxville City Zoo. By the way, I don't know if you've been to that zoo, but it has really gone downhill. And I think this guy's gambling problem has a lot to do with that. Anywho, he swore up and down that this thing was a bear. I was kind of skeptical at first, but he was like, what, you've never heard of a Mexican pygmy hissing bear? And I didn't want to sound stupid, so I said, yes. So that's my bad. I really should have made sure that this was a real bear, before we put him in that little outfit and tried to force him to walk on his hind legs, because wolverines don't do that in nature. Yeah, that was a lot of valuable time wasted there. Also, and I can't stress this enough, never, ever attempt to teach a wolverine to ride a little bicycle. I don't want to go into details, but we lost one of our best employees, Pete Strawicki, on that project. Pete had been with us for 16 years, and he wasn't a perfect guy. I mean, I know he owed a lot of people money, and there was talk about him sexually harassing one of the camels, but no one deserves to die like that, not at the hands of a friend. And I think we all know that Chewy was probably Pete's only real friend by that point. But long story short, the vet called your local sheriff, and he informed us that because the animal was involved in a child mauling, plus the lesser crime of killing a circus employee, and because we don't have a license to own a semi-trained wolverine in this particular state, we would have to put Chewy down. So that's why you heard all those gunshots at 3 o'clock this morning. 7 shots in all. As it turns out, wolverines have a tremendous life force, and this particular one did not go gently into that good night. It was not pretty. Oh, and that reminds me of something else I should address. We've run into another piece of bad luck at the Vanzetti Family Circus and Swap Meet. We have a bit of an escape situation on our hands. Apparently last night, one of our clowns got loose and is currently at large. This clown's name is Mr. Sniffles, a.k.a. Bombo, a.k.a. Ding Dong McSillypickle. He has lime green hair, a large blue nose, and size 27 shoes. You'll want to keep a sharp eye out for this guy because some of his co-workers have described him as emotionally unstable and possibly suicidal. It seems Mr. Sniffles was distraught over the loss of Chewy the Wolverine, especially since he was the one who had to put the last 4 caps into him. Now, I know many of you will be tempted to arm yourselves, but I've got to warn you, pulling a gun on Mr. Sniffles is a big mistake. Believe me, I know it's more difficult than you might think to take down a clown with conventional weaponry. The brightly colored clothing and makeup, the distorted facial features, the wild hair, it's all very distracting when you're trying to aim. That's how they protect themselves. Before you can get focused enough to put one in the chest or the head, they're on top of you. And man, you do not want a wounded clown up in your grill. Your best bet is to carry a bottle of Tabasco sauce with you at all times. That way, if he corners you, you might be able to squirt some into his eyes. Remember, go for the eyes. Apparently, that's how they punished him back at the orphanage. Okay, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Thanks for your patience. And, hey, be sure to come down to the circus this weekend. Bring the whole family. Come out and see the acrobats, the clowns, the stuffed Wolverine. such a special experience for the kids. You know, children never forget the circus. I'm telling you, they never forget it.